Hello, welcome to my channel, Truth Be Told, with Robert Dalton. That's my new name for my channel, right? Truth Be Told. I've always wanted to do that, so now that I see uh, that I'm really getting into this. At first I started making these videos. It was just about my animals, and then uh, what happened? Oh, when Donald Trump almost got assassinated, and that right there, that shifted my whole, just everything in my world. Just that whole moment. And not because of Donald Trump himself, but although I do really like the man, respect him, and voted for him all three times, right? But what really brought me from behind the camera to in front of the camera to start making these videos, because initially at first I would just shoot video of my animals, and I would stay behind the camera because that's it's you gotta anyway, but yeah, but when Donald Trump at that time, when he almost lost his life, and it was a miracle that he didn't. And me, I love the Lord, and I saw the miracle for what it was in that moment. And that right there, when I saw the hand of God displayed so publicly, it just filled me with such an urgent need to come from behind the camera to in front of the camera and make a video. So that I'm a re I posted it all last year during the election. Then after the election, I deleted it. I don't know. I was going through a phase. I want to talk about that too one day. But uh, so I think I'm gonna re-upload it, because that's really was my first video of me coming from behind the camera, making videos of my animals and just narrating. So all you would really hear is my voice, and then to get in front of the camera and really start sharing my personal thoughts and opinions on matters. And uh, and I've been growing in that ever since. How y'all doing? So, all right, some of my neighbors, that's down the street. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I started making these videos, sharing my thoughts, and not really looking to be monetized or have a channel like that. But however, if we'll sit back and just say, well, I wonder what if, because I have a lot to offer as far as my experience, just my personal insight on things, and my relationship with the Lord. I have a very strong relationship with the Lord. It has with the fruit to bear with it. It's not just words when it comes to my faith, and I know that the answers to a lot of our problems is through our relationship with the Lord, right? And so I said, well, you know what, today, once I'm able to, I like really grow my channel and start having more uh, availability to different tools, other than just my phone. Yeah, my channel will be called Truth Be Told. It's a term that I've had on my Facebook forever, under my Facebook, and it's how I live my life. I'm an honest man. I speak truth and I receive truth, right? And who don't like that, And I understand that a lot of times the truth hurts, right? And so it may be offensive, and I'm kind of brash with my delivery, and I'm gonna work on that, because I'm not intentionally trying to offend people. Not intentionally. I know unintentional. That's different, right? But I'm not seeking to intentionally offend somebody, because that would just be my own personal ego getting in the way of the message, and then there's no fruit in that, right? And so I just want to share that right there. There's a couple creators I want to shout out. I don't know why we don't do that enough, to be honest with you. And I don't. I hear this. I'm still learning this social media thing, and so I'm not sure of all the terms and the rules and how this works as far as a lot of that stuff. I'm still learning on that, right? Like, and so I don't understand why we I don't see some content creators do. Like I just saw one today. I'm gonna shout him out here in a minute. He shouted out one of my favorite content creators, and I like that. I don't know why we don't do that more. I don't. Is it clout chasing? Because I hear that's a term. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but if I shout out a content creator, I want others to check that person out. It's me saying, hey, I find value in this person's work. Go check them out. I believe you may as well. So I'm not looking for that myself. My channel is not there yet. I'm not there yet as far as consistency and quality. I know I have the content here, so that's not the issue. I'm still working on uh, being able to be an effective communicator, and I struggle with that a lot. I really do personally because it makes me so upset at my own self for not continuing school and just getting that kind of polish where I can take what's going on up here and have it come out in a fluid, eloquent way, right? I don't have that at all. My life is so basic and base and simple. I'm a country bumpkin in a way, right? I'm a country city boy. Okay, so, but I don't want that to come off as an excuse. So I'm going to work on myself to be able to bring the best product I possibly can because I truly want to. I want to add value into people's lives, and we should do that, right? And so a couple creators I like to shout out that I really find value from is Jr. Wisdom. As far as the fellas go, he's got great takes on things. He's solid in his appearance and his quality of his work. And I think the brother overall is he's well intentioned. And he has his finger on the pulse of today's generation and trends. I'm an old head, so I come from a different mindset, but it all flows into the next, right? And then another creator I want to shout out is Shamika Michelle. Shout out to you, Miss Shamika. She's a beautiful sister. Oh, and she has great. And her channel is the Clapback Conservative, right? And so for the ladies, you would do yourself a great service if you go check her out and pay attention to her content. She delivers a powerful message with love for the ladies. And Jr. Wisdom, he's for the fellas. And so for me as well, my thing is I want to appeal to the fellas as far as being strong men, learning not to not make the mistakes I've made, right? And yeah, to just be better versions of ourselves, man. So we can have long, fruitful lives and actually leave this place in a better space. When we're gone. And that's the real legacy of our lives, right? Is when we can actually add something to this world and not take from it, right? And so yeah, that's my purpose. That's my function. People. And so thank you for tuning in. Yeah, this is a journey, as they say. The most consistent thing that I'm gonna be doing right now for sure is my morning devotionals, right? So as far as making these videos, uh, I'm still working it out. I'm still trying to find my niche, as they say. I kind of come down hard on the ladies, so I'm gonna pull back on that a little bit too because I don't want simple man to come for me, right? I'm not trying to stir no trouble on that, right? Because I love women, but they still airheads to me, right? So that's my term for these women. So you're gonna hear me say that a lot, airhead, right? I think that's a nice polite way of calling it out, right? Because these women are airheads these days, right? They empty, right? So that's gonna be my term, but I say that with love, uh, 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 and I'm gonna end with this. I believe men should raise sons and women should raise girls. I'm not about to get on here and say what a woman should do and how she should do. I've never been a woman in my life. I have no desire to be, right? I've been a man since the moment I was born until the moment I am gone, right? and I like it like that. So you won't hear me on here. I don't believe men should be trying to instruct women on how to be women. And on the flip side of that coin, I don't believe that women should be trying to teach men how to be men. Let's all stay in our lanes, right? So I'm a man's empowerment channel. I'm my whole baseline on that is my faith. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna always make reference to the Lord, to the Bible, to the wisdom of the kingdom. Because that right there is really what makes long lasting, real change in our lives and in our communities. Okay. So okay, thank you for watching Truth Be Told with Robert Dalton, and everybody have a blessed and wonderful rest of their day.